So again, welcome to all of you into this SolidWorks Bootcamp day 1. So this is our first session, and I hope all of you are from SolidWorks background. All of you are from engineering background and wants to learn this software just to improve your career, to enhance your career, right? To get a job or to start freelancing. So this is basically a 1 week bootcamp where we'll be learning and exploring SolidWorks. And I want all of you to be interactive as well. Like whatever the task I will give, I will assign. You have to finish. That's not mandatory, but you have to finish. You have to take initiative because if you want to learn anything, if if we have place to learn anything, we have to be little bit. So can you, all of you can please write into the chat box like from which city you are, so I will have a better idea. And before I will start, I will give you a small introduction like how this complete process is going to work, from where you can access the recordings, where you can find the recordings, from where you can submit your assignments if you want to, from where you can download your certificates, and from where, and I believe all of you are also receiving emails before this session is starting, right? So each day you will be receiving emails before we are going to start this session. So even if we are taking rest, it will be notified to all of you. So for all these 7 days, you have to be very attentive into the WhatsApp group. Check your messages whenever we are posting something, because all these 7 days we want it to be super productive. I want all of you to learn carefully. I want all of you to utilize this time properly. That's what I want to say. And whenever you are coming for this boot camp, sitting with me, started learning, I prefer that you log in through your laptop or PCs only. From mobile, you will not be have a better overview. So log in from your laptop or PC, sit in a silent room, take a notebook and pen, and then you can start learning with me. So that is the thing. And again, all these sessions that we are doing, recordings will be provided. So even if you have some urgent work, you can come back to next day and you can start learning with us. Okay, so I think it's clear to all of you now. And I can see people are still joining in the middle. So join this meeting, join this class just 5 minutes before this session start. So it's important for all of you, right? Now let's move to how we can access this platform. So all of you remember, so when you have registered on this platform, you have logged in into this website, right? That's our academy platform, LMS platform, from where you can start learning. You can start logging into your dashboard and you will find so many features over here. So go onto your web browser and search for this website that says academy.3dash.com. ACADEMY academy.3dash.com. And we have also posted the link for the website into the chat box, so you can go on to this link. You can open this into your browser, then you have to come on to this section that says login, because all of you are already registered for this boot camp, for this workshop, right? So click on this login option, and the moment you will click on this login option, you will get something pop up like this onto your screen. So you don't have to fill out these details because you already did it. You just have to come to the bottom and click on continue with Google. So click on this option, continue with your Gmail account, Google account. Then you have to select your Gmail account, and when the moment you will select, it will automatically log in into the platform without making any password. So since you are directly logging through your using your Google account, but if you want to change the password, on the top you will be able to see your profile icon. So here it is, you can see there is a profile icon. I can go on to my profile, right? And under my profile, I can set the password. So currently it doesn't have a password, so I can set up a new password and I can do that, right? So this is the way you can do that. Also, the moment you are logged in into the platform, from where you can access your course that you are currently subscribed. So once you are logged in into the platform, simply click on this option and go to my purchases, right? If you click on my purchases, it will redirect you to the course that for which you have subscribed. So then click on the course to open that, and here you can see you will be able to find, for example, this is the session that we are attending right now, that is SolidWorks interface and navigation, and there you will be able to find assignments and the stuff like that. So you will find all the things, like even you will be able to find the recording as well. So these recordings will be available for you for 1 year, so you can access the recordings also. So from here you can access the recordings as well. So these are all for the day 7. In the same way, you have to do it every day, or even after finishing this complete live stream. If you want to access the course and content, you can come on to this area and check it out. So this is how you can access your course. Now, right now we are into the platform. Right now we are learning SolidWorks. So before we'll get started, if you have any questions, please do ask. Also, if you don't have access to SolidWorks, or if you want to try or want to buy some SolidWorks, then you can do that. There is a very affordable option available at this moment right now. So you just have to go to your browser, search for the Google, and then you can search for the SolidWorks student license. So the student license is being available. Like if you don't want to use the crack software, you can buy the student license. Go for the SolidWorks for student, and then you can see these are the offers available. So you can activate the SolidWorks for a student. Sorry, this one is SolidWorks for student. Desktop edition is $60 per hour. But if you are active inside LinkedIn group and LinkedIn groups, there are so many LinkedIn communities where they used to provide free coupons to activate your SolidWorks student license. So if you're active into these groups, within a year, I think they used to provide 2 times these free coupons. So, but you have to active into the groups and keep checking out your social media. But still, if you want this on a little bit like discounted price, you can get this on 30 USD per hour. You can find that coupon code online. So that is also possible because now for students, SolidWorks is completely affordable, and you will get a license for 1 year, and that you can also upgrade next year. But you will get a complete SolidWorks package where you can start learning everything. For this purchase, you will also get 2 certification voucher for the CSWA and CSWP. If you know, there is SolidWorks Associate Program and SolidWorks Professional certifications. So these 2 certifications are also coming as a free under this complete purchase, as you can see. And these 2 certifications only cost around $200, but if you'll buy the license, you will get this for free. This offer is especially for the students, so you can check it out. Now, apart from this, if you also want to know how to download SolidWorks or want to have a license, you can comment into our WhatsApp group, or you can send me the personal message. I will send you the link from where you can download the software, but that will not be a legal version of it, right? So any questions, guys, up to this point? I was expecting the city from everyone, but very few people have commented only. Please write your city, and please write your city into the chat box. I want every one of you to. So Adis is from Pondicherry. That's great. Everyone, please do write your city into the chat box. Okay, so now this is everything. Now for the day 1, we have here to learn about the SolidWorks interface and navigation. So it's very simple. We are not going to deep dive into that because we want to get you started into the tool. So whenever you will first launch your SolidWorks, you will see a screen like this that you can see right now. The tool is active in front of you. So it's a simple SolidWorks, nothing else. A big logo of the SolidWorks at the center of your screen. I have the SolidWorks Maker's license. I don't have the standalone license. That's why it says SolidWorks Maker. If you'll purchase the student license instead of Maker, you will see student over here. So apart from that, everything will be completely similar. So don't worry about that. Now, onto the top left corner, you can see it says SolidWorks logo and then the file menu, right? So in this file menu, from where you can open new files, right? You can create new files, open existing ones, and even you can access all your older files that you have already worked on, right? Then you got a new section that says view. Inside the view panel, you have few settings, but don't worry about these settings at this moment. Simply you can click on this home tab, the first option that you can see over here, and that will bring you to this option that says welcome SolidWorks. So SolidWorks is welcoming you into this panel, and this panel can be dragged anywhere onto your screen. That's completely floating. under the home tab. Once the home tab is active, you will be able to see this screen. So in this screen, you can do everything. Like the first thing that is we are active is under home tab. And now we can also see we have recent tab, learn tab, alerts, and other sections, right? But right now we are inside the home tab. So when you are inside learn tab, it will take few seconds because okay, so the software crashed, I think. Okay, so one user is from Kolkata, right? That's really nice. So we have people who are here to learn are from different part of the country. That's good to know. Like all of you want to learn SolidWorks and you have the opportunity as well, because uh, this tool is all about practice. The more you practice, the more comfortable you will be getting into this tool. Right. So if you are watching this video, I also suggest that you start doing things with me like I am doing right now. So here you can see this is my SolidWorks tool, and just a second, this is my SolidWorks home tab, and here in the first home tab you will see multiple options, like you can start part file, assembly file, drawing files. So if how many of you are already using any of the CAD tool? Can you just write into the chat box? If you are already using any of the CAD tool, just write, whether it could be AutoCAD, CATIA, whatever you are using, just write it to the chat box. Any tool if you are using, because that makes really easy for me to understand you. Okay, so all of you are using AutoCAD. That's great. So AutoCAD is basically from a company known as Autodesk, right? If we know, AutoCAD is a software that is being provided from Autodesk. But this SolidWorks is being provided by its competitor, and the company name is known as Dassault Systems. So that company is providing this software, SolidWorks, and it's a very industry standard software. Like many of the industries, aerospace, consumer products, heavy machineries, metals, all structural, all of them are using SolidWorks because it's a very advanced tool. It has so many features. So employability by learning this tool is also very high. And as you can see, we are inside the home tab. So if you are an AutoCAD user, then you could have noticed, like whenever you are saving your file inside AutoCAD, the file, what is the file extension you are saving? Like what is the default file format for AutoCAD? Can you please write into the chat box? For example, for PDF file, the file format is .pdf, right? In the similar manner, what is the file format for AutoCAD? Yes, correct, .dwg. In similar manner, we have a file format for SolidWorks is, we have three different file formats for SolidWorks, and that you can, I'm just sending into the chat box that you can see. .sldprt is the first file format. .sldprt is the first file format for the part file inside SolidWorks. For example, if you have some design, as you can see over here, this design right now that I am opening is having just one single file. Yes, it is correct. It's part file. So right now you can see this design is just a one single solid part file. So that's why if we'll save this file, that is getting saved as onto the top, you can see .sldprt. So that is the default file format for the SolidWorks part file. And there is another file format for the same thing, and that file format is for the assembly. And for the assembly, that file format is .sldasm. So that is the file format for the assembly file, .sldasm. For example, here you can see we have two parts. So if you'll open this design, in this design, you can see, you can notice we have multiple parts, like 1, 2, 3, and 4 parts, right? So in this design, if we'll save this file, this will be getting saved as .sldasm. So whenever your design is having multiple parts assembled together, then you will have this file extension saved as .sldasm. So always remember these two things. Now, the third file format that we used to find inside SolidWorks, let me close this one. So the third file format that we used to see inside SolidWorks is this one, drawing file. And for that, the file format is always .sldrw, right? .sldrw. So here you can see we also have a small sample file for the drawing file that I'm opening right now. So let's say if you have created any drawing or anything, so here you can see this file is getting saved as .sldrw file format. So always remember. So in SolidWorks, we can save our SolidWorks file in 3 different file formats. It completely depends upon the whether it's a component file, whether it's an assembly file, or whether it's a drawing file. So wherever you will see from today these file extension, you can simply estimate that these are the files for SolidWorks, right? And one more thing, if you SolidWorks is also very like version intuitive. This means if someone has created file using SolidWorks 2025, then they cannot open that file in the lower version. For example, you cannot open that file in SolidWorks 2024, but the older version files can be opened in future versions. So that is also very important. So whenever someone is sharing the SolidWorks file for you to work on, you have to also ask that what version of SolidWorks you have used to create this file. Otherwise, it will not be compatible. It will not be useful for you inside SolidWorks. So that is the thing. Now let's close all these ones. So what we have learned about the SolidWorks file format. Always remember this, right? Now, once you will launch your SolidWorks, just go to this home icon, and there you can find inside the home tab, we have the 3 different file types available. So if we want to start with a part file, we can click on part file, right? If you want to start with the assembly file, we can click on it. If you want to create drawing, we have to click on this, right? Instead of this, these 3 options are to start new design file for your design drawing. But if you want to open the existing one, simply click on this tab that says open. So if you click on this open tab, it will directly redirect you into your PC from where you can find your file, any file that you want to open. Let's say I want to open this one. So I will select that and will click on open, and it will open that into SolidWorks. Here you can see it just opened that file inside SolidWorks. Right. So that way you can also open the existing part file. But we also have the options to start new part files, assembly files, and drawing files. So whoever just getting started into SolidWorks, I will always recommend to start with a part file, because part file is one of the most basic design file inside SolidWorks, right? Now, just below these new settings, here you can see these are all to create new things. I'm not going to discuss this advanced section because this is not important for you at this moment. If I will make it more complex in the beginning, maybe you can lose the interest in learning this software. So it's important that we'll make it super simple. Now, just below this new, you can see all the recent documents. So whatever the files I have opened just a moment earlier, they will be arranged based on the time I have used to open these files, and you will be able to find these over here. So you can also directly open files from here if you have did something in the past, right? So it's kind of history that is being recorded over here. And if you click on view all, you will be able to see all of your history, right? So we'll go back to home again. Now, below that, there are recent folders. This means if you have opened any of the file from any of the folders, you also be able to see all those folders as well at the bottom. So if you want to explore these as well, that's completely fine. But don't worry about these things. Always, the most important part is this new section that you can see over here, these 3 things, right? And then we also have this recent learn alerts. Just ignore these things. So how we can start a new part file inside SolidWorks. So that is the next thing that we are going to learn. So this is the UI that you can see onto your screen now. You don't have to worry about anything. The only thing that is important is on the right top corner. On the right top corner, we have these 3 icons. The first is to close SolidWorks. If you want to close the design, you can simply click on close like any other software. You can minimize the screen, like if you want to make it smaller or bigger, you can do that. Just write into the chat box if you can see yes. Okay, so and then next to that we have this option to span display. Just ignore that. Now we have these options to minimize, like if you want to bring down to your screen and want to start working on something else, you can do that. So if you click back again onto the bottom panel of your Windows task panel, that will be back again. Now these were the only important settings at this screen. Now I will simply click on home, and then we'll start a new part file. So I will click on home, then we'll go on to this new section. I will select this part file. I will click on this part file, and the moment you will click, your first part file just got started, right? But before we'll start making anything into this new part file, I always recommend few things that you have to do. You have to take those steps to make your design easier, right? So these are the most common steps that you have to apply in each of your part file, assembly file, drawing files, right? And those steps are, whenever you will first launch your part file, before you start anything into the design, it's important to save your file, right? Because whatever the time we are spending in designing or to creating anything, you don't want to lose those time. If somehow software crashes, we'll have the data backed up into our PC, right? Because it's a offline software, you can save all your files into your PC only, right? There is no cloud system or anything. So right now you can see when we launched the part file, I clicked on the part and it automatically started a new part file for us. So on the top, can you see this part 1 name? So by default, SolidWorks has already given it a default name, that is part 1, because this is our first part file. That's why it's given it a name part 1. So I will change this name. Let's say if I am designing something, I want to give it some other name, some useful name that I can remember always. So I will click on this save icon. So you can save these files by 3 process. The first process is go to this file menu that you can see onto the top, click on it, and the list will get dropped down. Click on save to this PC, right? And the moment you will click on save to this PC, a window will pop up where you can locate the folder or space where you want to save your file. And the moment you are done, you can simply rename your file, simply remove everything and rename this file. Let's say I will write day 1, right? So I had given this file name day 1. And if I'll click on save, you can see name on the top just got updated to day1.sldprt. So what we did, we have saved this file, right? Now, once we have saved this file, the next task that is important. Now, this was the one way to save the file. The other way is to simply click on this icon that you can see over here that says save to this PC. So you can follow this process as well. Just click on it and it will again pop up a window. Since this file is already saved, it is keep saving onto that, right? So it will not pop up a window. But if it's a new file and if you click on save, it will save it as a different name on a different location. Now, the third way to save your file is press Ctrl S from your keyboard, like we used to do in any other software. The moment you will press Ctrl S, your file will get saved. So that is also a way to save your file. Yep. So I was talking about like these are the ways to you can save your files inside SolidWorks. Now, once you have saved your file, the next important step that you always have to take care of, define your system of units inside SolidWorks, because whatever the designs you will create, it will follow some sort of units, system of units, right? And from where you can control that. For that, here you can see a cursor onto your screen. So if I'll move my cursor onto the right bottom corner, can you see that says mmgs? So this mmgs is a shortcut for millimeter, gram, and second, right? So if I'll expand that, right now the system of unit that we are following for this document is millimeter, gram, second. So whatever designs, whatever sketch, whatever features will get created in millimeter. But if you want to use some different system of units, let's say I want to use inch, pound, second. I want to create something in inches. Then I will activate this one. And the moment I click on it, you can see that for this document, the active system of unit is inch, pound, and second. That is IPS, right? So that way we can change different system of units. So now we are active on millimeter, gram, and second. So I will change back to the mmgs, right? And that is the most common used system of units in India. So always remember, this is mmgs is the most common used system of units in India. Almost 95% of the companies who are into manufacturing, who are doing precise manufacturing, who are making steel products, metal products, they all are using these MMGS system of units only. And by default also, whenever you will launch any part file, by default, this will be always be applied. But in case if you want to change that, that's why I explained you into this video. Like from here, you can change that as well. Right? I hope my voice is clear to all of you, right? Until now, any questions? We have learned how to start a new part file, how to save your design, how to change your document units. Until now, any questions? Just let me know into the chat box. Otherwise, everyone please write N into the chat box. If you don't have any question, just write N into the chat box. Every one of you, write N into the chat box if you don't have any questions. I cannot guide you how to install SolidWorks because it's a more than 2 hour process. It will take 2 hours to install SolidWorks. But I can send you the link of the videos by watching which you can install at your end, right? There is a complete defined process written. You don't have to worry about those things. And again, I'm repeating, if you want to use SolidWorks, there are some minimum system requirements you have to be, right? You cannot, for example, I will just show you SolidWorks. So if you want to use SolidWorks, your PC should have some sort of hardware configuration. And if you can see over here for SolidWorks, as per the company recommendation, you should have at least 16 GB of RAM to run this software with 4 GB of graphics card minimum, with 20 GB of free space. So if you have SSD or hard disk for more than 250 GB, that's completely fine. But you should have at least 16 GB of RAM and 4 GB of graphics card into your PC. And your system must be 64-bit version of the Windows 10 or 11. If it is older, you will not be able to run SolidWorks 2024 or 2025. Right. So these are some minimum system requirements to run SolidWorks. I hope you all have this level of hardware with you. Okay. So these were the things of starting a design, saving your file, and changing the documents unit. Now let's come back to few more settings. So whenever you will start SolidWorks, you will see a screen like this. Now on the top, in the middle, you can see the file name that we can change when we'll save the file. Onto the left top, here you can see we call these all menu bar, right? So these are all menu bar. So the list of menu bar, the first option is this file menu. So if you click on the file menu, you can see here we have the options to start a new file again, open an existing file, open a recent file, open drawings, close this one as well. And we have multiple options like save as template, pack and go, share. So we have lots of options available over here that we'll be exploring while start doing some designs, like how we can use these options. But from here, you can access all these options. Yep. So I was talking about inside SolidWorks, the top label that you can see is the menu bar, right? So in this top area on the middle, you will be able to see your file name, right? Now onto the left, you will be able to see this menu bar where the first option is this file menu, from where you can start a new file, open the existing one, open the recent file that you have worked, open any drawing files. You can even close the existing one. So we have all these options over here, like you can save the file, you can share your file, pack and go, export your file as a different file format, and all these options over here. But we'll be learning once we'll start doing some designs, we'll be learning how we can utilize these options. But at this moment, I'm just giving you a small overview into this first session. Like from here, you can access all these options. Now, just on the side of it, we have the edit section. So if you click on the edit section, here you can see we have all the things related to editing our tool panel. So if you are a new SolidWorks user, I never recommend to start playing with this edit section, because you don't want to get into trouble. Like if you have lost some tool from your toolbar menu, it could be real difficult to bring it back. So in the beginning, don't play with it so much. Simply, I'm just giving you an overview that these are the options available. Now in the view section, you have all the tools related to view. Like you can have control the toolbar menu from this view panel. You can control the workspaces, you can control the user interfaces. So all these options available over here. Then we have the insert section, tool section, and Windows section. So again, you don't have to worry about those things. you can hide these things as well. So can you see this small pin icon? So if I click on the pin icon, you can see that got unpinned. This means by automatically it is getting hidden into this area. So the moment I will move my cursor onto this area, it will come back. Now if I want these options to be always sitting onto the top, I will simply click pin this options over here, and now even if I moving my cursor, it is still sitting onto the same position. So basically it's a like of drawer, where if you turn off the drawer, means then you can close the drawer, right? And once you will pin this drawer, this means this content will always be sitting onto the top. Now just below this panel, there is next panel that you can see, this complete panel, where we have few options that we can ignore at this moment, because the same thing is also available into this panel, right? So what we can do, we can simply drag this panel and we can close it, because the same options are also available over here, right? Now this option, we call it tool panel, right? So in the tool panel, the first section is the feature, right? So right now we are inside the feature tool panel section, right? And if you click on the sketch, we have another set of tools. Surface, we have another set of tools. All these tools are not active at this moment because we have not created anything into the design. So the moment we will start creating something, all with these tools will get activated. So don't worry about that. Then we have another tool section that says sheet metal, weldments, direct editing, markup, evaluate, embeddings, dimensions, life cycle and collaboration, SolidWorks add-ins. So we have so many options, but the first option, that is the feature. So by default, whenever you will start your drawing, this feature tool panel will always be there, and you will always be active into this panel only. So here inside this feature panel, the first option that you can see is this home tab again. So if you click on the home tab, it will bring back the same option from where you can start any design, open the existing ones. So you can do all those things. But since we already started the design, this home panel is not required. So, but you cannot do anything because these tools are by default organized by the SolidWorks company into its position. So based on the usability, they are taking the feedback from the users, and accordingly they are making changes to their user interface. So users can work faster, efficiently. Now the next option, that we have to save this file. Since we already saved this file, so there is no need to use this one as well. Now then next option is to open a new file, that we can also do from the home, or we can also do it from here. Then we have this option to rebuild. So the rebuild is a very important tool, but it can only be used when we have multiple things into our design. But right now our design is empty, so I'm not going to explain you what it can do. But remember that this icon that you can see, like a traffic light signal with the red and green bulbs attached to it, this tool is known as rebuild. Always remember this, rebuild. You can note down into your diary that to use this tool, you can also use the keyboard shortcut that says Ctrl+B. So if you use Ctrl+B keyboard shortcut, you can run this tool that says rebuild, right? Now below that, we have the option to open the file again, and then we have the main option that says options. So what does the options does? Let's say we have this design open, and if we click on this options tool, it will open a settings window. Actually, all the background settings of this SolidWorks we can control from this system options only. And anytime if you did anything wrong, if you have messed up the tools, location, orientation, what you have to do is simply come on, simply click on this settings tab. It will open the system options, and there you just have to click on reset. So at the moment you will click on reset all options, it will reset all the settings for you to the default, and then you can press OK, and it will apply. Okay, so it is not applying at this moment because we have not made any changes. So if you click on OK, it will apply that all reset options to your SolidWorks design. So I am using 32 GB RAM PC with 6 GB graphics card, and I have 1 terabyte of SSD. Still you can notice like I'm facing issues with SolidWorks. It crashed sometimes. So it's very important to use a strong PC, capable PC for using this, since this software is so much stronger and it requires very good configuration PC to run this software. So it's important for you that you take a very good PC. So here you can see when we again relaunched the software, when we relaunched the software, the last file that we did was the day1.sldprt, and you can see that into the recent document. So I have not lost the file. Why? Because we have saved the file in the first step. That's why I told you, always remember, always develop this habit. So whenever you are starting a new design, first save your file, because saving your file will save a lot of time for you. There you can see right now our day one SLD PRT file is available over here. I can simply click on it and it will launch the file, but software is not ready yet, so it will take some time and to launch it. Before that, I will close some of my softwares so I can give it more space. How many of you have already running SolidWorks into their PC? Just write into the comment box. How many of you are already running SolidWorks into your PC? Write Y into the chat box if you're already running this software into your PC. So right now I am using SolidWorks 2025 version. As you can see, it's the most updated version. I also have the commercial license. I have purchased the license that I had showed you, but it's a maker's license that I had bought at around $70, and it's for 1 year. I have purchased this software. So for 1 year, I can use this software. Yes, my C drive is also a little bit full. That's why I am having this lag into this software. I know that. But the second reason that I am facing this issue is because, and until now, if you have any question, just write into the chat box, because the more questions we'll ask, it will be easy for you to learn. It will easy for you to get started. Why I am doing these live stream sessions, I can also post the recording for the contents. In that way, you cannot ask the question directly to me. That's why I am hosting these sessions as a live session. So you can ask questions. You can directly ask questions without wasting time, right? So ask questions if you have any, all of you. I can see there are 4 people already joined, like Adis, Hitesh, Sivam, and maybe you have to rename your name. It's right now it's saying user. So I can see we have 4 people have already joined. So let's move back to open our last file, that was the Biswajit. Okay, so you can rename it. And also a very important thing, like all of you have used the correct name when you have logged in into our platform, right? So whatever the name you had used to log in into our platform, the same name will be visible on the certificates. So if you had not used the correct name, go log in into your profile and change your name. Otherwise, on the certificate, on the final day, you will get a different name or maybe incorrect name. So it's important to write your full name. So as you can see, we are back into the SolidWorks. So if anytime if you had made any mistake, you can go onto this system options setting and you can make it reset. Or if you want to adjust any of the settings, you can adjust those as well into this option. But since you are just getting started, I do not recommend to come onto this area and make any of the changes, right? But by the time if you'll have some experience, maybe you need to change few of the settings to improve your performance, right? But that you can do. Okay, so now these were the options for the setting. Now after that, we have few more things into this feature panel that says extrude, revolve. So these tools are all 3D tools that we'll be utilizing when we'll start modeling something, right? Then we have the other section that says sketches. So in the sketches, this will always be common, the first section for all the sections. As you can see, if I am moving, the first section is always common, but rest of the tools are changing based on the tool panel I am selecting. So right now we are in the sketch tool panel. So all sketch tools are active. If we'll move back to surface tool panel, all surface tools are visible over here. So you have all the tool panels available over here. So this could be a little bit different for you, but don't worry. The major important tool panels that should be available all the time are feature, sketches, surface, sheet metal, weldments, direct editing, markups, and evaluate. So these are the major tool panels that will be available for each one of you if you are installing SolidWorks for the first time. Now, after that, this is known as the design area or canvas, you can say, where you will be making anything or any designs. So the white area, the front, the complete white area on your screen that you can see, this is known as a canvas. So in the canvas onto the top, can you see these options, right? So these are all navigation tools. These are all navigation tools. So to use SolidWorks, or just give me a second. So to use, yes, GD&T will be learning into the last session because we have put the last session for the drawings. So in the last session on the 7th day, we'll be learning about how we can add GD&T into the drawing. So right now you can see onto the top, we have all these navigation tools. And if you are using SolidWorks, I always recommend to use an external mouse. Having a good quality external mouse is important, where you have the scroll wheel, where you have the right and left clicks. So this is the basic minimum requirement to use SolidWorks. You cannot use this tool from your trackpad, from your laptop trackpad. That could be super annoying. So it's important to use an external mouse. So right now I am using external mouse, and why I am showing you my external mouse is because, why I am using this external mouse is because by using this external mouse, you can navigate across your model. So let me open some recent files so I can show you how this tool works. So let me open this simple bracket file that we did now. As you can see, whenever I am using my mouse scroll wheel, and if I am scrolling my mouse scroll wheel towards the front, it is zooming out. If I am scrolling it towards me, it is zooming in. So that way, wherever you will put your cursor, you can zoom in and zoom out into your 3D model, right? So the first option that see into this tool panel is the zoom fit. So let's say if you have zoomed out and the model is not onto your screen. Now, if you want to bring it back, that will fit onto your screen, you can use this option that says zoom to fit, right? The moment I will click on it, here you can see whatever the designs or drawings you have into your canvas, it will get fit onto your screen, right? Now the next tool is again zoom to area. Let's say I want to focus onto some specific area onto our model. So that case, I can activate this tool, and the moment you can see the tool got activated, the cursor shape got changed, I can make a click and drag a box like this. I can drag and click and make a box like this. And let's say I want to focus on this area. So I can make a box like this, and it will focus onto that area only. So that way it is also possible to focus on any specific area inside your SolidWorks. Here you can say, let's say I want to focus on around this hole. So I will make a box like this, and it will focus onto that area only. So this gives me an advantage of visualizing any specific feature into our design, right? And that is possible through this zoom to fit area, right? We can zoom onto any specific area of our 3D model, and all the time you have the option to scroll, use your mouse scroll wheel to zoom in and zoom out, right? And I can see one person just joined. So since he has just joined, I just want to say, if you have missed lots of content, no problem. We'll always be providing recording, and how you can access the recording, a complete detailed video I will share into the group, so don't worry. So here you can see, this is how we can access our design, right? Now, next to that, we have a tool called previous view. So let's say we are viewing this model from this direction, right? And next moment I had rotated it and viewing it from this direction. So if you click on this previous view, it will take you one step back, so you can see your model. So it's kind of Control G for the view, right? So you can use this option to go one step back into your views only. You cannot change, you will not be changing the steps, you will only changing the view of your model. So that helped you to navigate across your 3D model, but that's not very important tool, just ignore it. After that, we have the next tool that says section view. Like if I want to see my body from the inside, I can activate this section view tool, and then it will start showing me the different section of my body. So this is just for the visualization purpose. This is not making an actual cut. It is just giving you a preview, so you can see, you can inspect the inside of your body using this tool that says section view tool. And the moment you will activate this tool, a complete setting for this section view will be available onto the left side of your screen, where you can see all the things. Like you can change the section view planes using these options. Here you can see I can change the planes. Like if I want to see section along this direction, or let's say I want to see section along this direction, so I have the full control using this complete setting. Like even if we can edit the colors, like right now it is blue, so if I want to make it green, I can make it green, something like this. But that is not going to make a much effect, because the main purpose is to have a section view and to inspect your body from the inside, right? And once you are done, you can click on finish, or you can click on close, right? So I will click on close, since I already have an idea about this body. Now, next to the section view, we have different views available over here. For example, this top view, left view, front view, side view. So we have different views available into this section. But for all these views, we also have the shortcuts. And the moment you will move your cursor onto the tool, and if you'll stay there for a few seconds, you can see a small window will pop up where you can read the information with the keyboard shortcut. So if you want to go to the top view, you have to press Ctrl+5, right? If you want to go to the if you want to go to the other view like this one, Ctrl+3. So if you press Ctrl+5, here you can see I'm going to a different view. If I will press Ctrl+2, I'm going to a different view. So you have to remember these settings so you can easily navigate across your 3D model from your keyboard as well. You can quickly change the orthographic views of your model inside SolidWorks using these keyboard shortcuts. Super easy, right? Here you can see. So that way you can control the things. You can also do the same thing from here as well, like this view, or maybe isometric view, or maybe some front view. So these things you can also do from here, but using a keyboard shortcuts will make you a little bit faster. But that can only be developed you will keep practicing, right? So that is the thing. Now, just below that, we have few more settings. Like right now we are active in a single viewport, right? The canvas you can see just a single. So that's why we are active in a single viewport. If you want to split that into multiple, you can click on it, and now you can see in one viewport we are seeing body as something like this, and the other viewport we are seeing body as something like this. So in different viewports we can apply different view settings. You can see that. For here, let's apply this kind of view. So in different viewports, we can apply different settings, but we always feel more comfortable in working in a single viewport. We have the option to split that into 4 as well. Like for the same part, you can have views from different angles. So whenever you are making edits, it will be visible on all the sides. These are just you can say it's a kind of camera presentation of your same model in 4 different views. So I will go back. So I will go back and will change this to single viewport, because single viewport is more comfortable for me. Now, I told you how to zoom in and zoom out, right? Now, how you can orbit across your 3D model like this. So you can inspect it from different direction, and that you can do just by pressing the middle mouse button of your external mouse. This is the scroll wheel. You just have to press it. So that scroll also work as a button, right? So you have to press it, keep pressing it, and then if you'll move it by pressing it, you will be able to orbit across your 3D model. So that is the shortcut for orbiting your model inside SolidWorks. Very simple. Now, if you want to pan it, like if you want to move it around the screen, press Control on your keyboard and press the same scroll wheel, and now you can pan it. Here you can see. So if you'll use the scroll wheel without control key, you can orbit it. And if you'll use it with control key, you can pan it across the canvas, across the screen. So panning is like moving your complete canvas here and there. Let's say you're making some drawing on a sheet. So you can move the complete sheet using the pan tool, and that you can activate using Control plus middle scroll wheel of your external mouse. So that way you can access your model from different angles and different sides. I hope it's clear up to this point, everyone. Now, next to that, we have this visual style options available over here. So right now, the one visual style, the model style that you can see is known as shaded with visible edges. So as you can see, the inside edges of these designs are not visible. For example, these edges are not visible if I am seeing like this. The internal edges are not visible. So this visual style is known as shaded with visible edges. So this is the active one right now, shaded with visible edges. Now if we'll change this to shaded only, the edges will not be visible. So we have different visual styles available as well. Then we have this option that says hidden lines removed. So only it will look like a sketch, but without internal edges. If we'll change this to with internal edges, I can see all the internal edges as well, as you can see. So we have available different visual styles also into SolidWorks, and that you can explore and you can experiment which one works best for you. In my case, shaded with visible edges works most of the time. So I am using this one, right? Any questions up to this point, all of you? I can see some of you are there. If you have any questions, just write into the chat box. So you don't have any questions, no problem. Now, next, as you can see, we have this option that says show and hide some of the features inside SolidWorks, right? We have few things like show and hide some of the features inside SolidWorks. So right now, if you'll zoom out little bit, can you see this small 3 axis visible onto the bottom of your canvas? These axes represent the 3 different axes, right? The red one is x-axis, the green one is y-axis, and the blue one is z-axis. But whenever you are working inside SolidWorks, the axes are not really important, because whenever you are working in any 3D CAD tool, these axes are just for the visual purpose. It's not really important that in which direction you start your modeling, right? So it's not really that much important. Now, if you'll go back and check, there is also, if you'll turn on this option that is not turned on, to view origin. So right, you can see the moment I turned it on, can you see a small origin is attached with my body with a small blue icon? Can you see that? And that's at the center of my body, and that origin will always be visible when you will start modeling from a scratch, when you start modeling something new. Here you can see, since I in the day one part file we have nothing, so we can turn on the origin and you can see this is my origin. So by using this origin we can start modeling or designing something. So this origin will always act as our starting reference point, right? So axes are not important, but starting reference point is always important. And if I'll move my cursor near to it, I can even select the origin. Here you can see that that's just a point, nothing, just a point, and it's known as origin. But by default, it is always turned on, that you can turn it on through this icon option over here. And then by turning it on from here, you can turn it off, turn it on from this option. Then we have the other options like applying appearance or applying material, applying scenes into our solid model, that we can also do. Now, next to that, we have a few more options that is not really important. Now, the next most important thing is onto the left side of your screen is the design browser, right? So this is the most important thing inside SolidWorks. So let's move back to our bracket design. So right now you can see when we are into bracket design, so to design this bracket, definitely we should have followed few steps, right? We have created some sketch, we have used some features, 3D features to get this shape, right? And all those steps are getting recorded into this design browser, the design tree only. We call it design tree. You can call it also design browser. So all these steps are getting recorded. So in the first step, what we did, we have extruded. Then in the next step, we have used the circular pattern. Then in the next step, we have again used the circular pattern. But all the steps are recorded over here. And the basic structure of this design tree always starts with the name of your file, right? So even if we'll go and see this one, this file where it is empty, nothing onto this design, the first thing is the name of your file, that is day one. Now next to it, you will find the history, sensors, annotations. So these will always be there by default. And then the important thing is material. So we have not specified any material. Why? Because we have nothing into the design right now. So once we have something like a 3D, we can specify the material, right? So in our case, in this bracket design, as you can see, we have also material not specified, but we can specify the material. And to specify the material, see, we can simply click on right click onto the material. We can go on to edit materials, right? A window will pop up from where we can find the material. Let's say I want to use steel, so I will write steel and I will look for the carbon steel. This is the carbon steel. I can simply select and will click on apply. So and will click on close. So you can see for this body we had applied carbon steel material, right? So all the time you can make a right click and change the material as well. So you have that option. So this material section will always be there into your design tree. Now just below that you will find 3 default planes, front, right, and top plane. So if you are a mechanical design engineer, you know planes are really very important to start your sketch or to your design, right? So here you can see these 3 default planes are always available in any CAD tool: front plane, top plane, and right plane. So by using these planes only, you can start your first sketch or first design feature, right? So that will be explaining how we can use these planes and start sketching, start 3D modeling into the next session. This session is all about the user interface only. So, but these 3 planes are always be there into your design tree whenever you will launch your part file, whether it's empty or filled, right? Just next to it, we have this origin thing. So if you click on the origin, you can see the same origin that we have turned it on from over here, the same origin. This origin is always be there over here. Even if you'll turn it off, here you can see I turned that off, still that is available over here with a small dot, right? You can see this is the origin. So this was the basic overview of our Fusion 360 structure, Fusion 360 UI whenever you will start a part file. Now, if you have any questions, just let me know into the chat box. Okay, so Hitesh is asking how to know which is top and which is bottom. That's not really important, because let's say if I will show you this headphone design, can you tell me which is the right side or which is the left side? Can you tell me which is the right side or which is the left side? You cannot, right? Because it depends upon the user. For example, if I take this mouse, can you tell me just by seeing like which is the right side, which is the left side? It's not really important, because when we do the design, we generally follow a normal approach, but we can control the top view, bottom view, side view, right? It's completely onto us. In 3D modeling, it's not really important. In 2D drawings, it's important that we have to define top view, side view, and things like that. But in 3D modeling, if we have created something like a 3D, just by seeing the model, we can identify, right? So if this is a mouse, then definitely this is the top and this is the bottom. So there is no need to, even if we place this model like this inside SolidWorks, still the top will be this one and bottom will be this one, right? So it's not really important. The orientation is not really important inside 3D CAD tools. But still, we generally use to follow the simple approach, like on the top plane, we used to create the top view. But that's not really a big deal. Right? Now, next question you are asking, how to measure weight of this object? Definitely, I will tell you that's the most common question, that the most common feature we'll be learning during this complete live stream. So this session was basically about like going through the user interface, how the tool is structured, where you can find the tools and set up anything, and how you can get started into the tool and the things like that. Now it's the time for questions. If you have any questions, just let me know into the chat box. Or if you don't have any questions, you can just write N and okay. So the link you are asking, right? I will be just drop me a personal message into my WhatsApp. I will send you the link, because that's not a legal thing. I will be sharing the cracked data file link. So I cannot share it over here into this live stream. You can send me personally. I will share you the link to download and the process to follow. And if you don't have any questions, just write N into the chat box so we can conclude the session, and the recordings will be available onto the dashboard. I will send you a small video by following which you can access the recordings. We'll be starting the sketches from tomorrow. For any questions, please ask. Otherwise, just write N into the chat box. Okay, so Hitesh don't have any question. Thank you so much, Hitesh, for coming to this live stream and learning with us. Anyone next have any questions? Okay, so Adis also don't have any questions. That's really nice. But still, I will suggest keep learning. Try out the tool, whatever the things I have explained, go and try to do from your end. And then definitely you will have lots of questions. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for coming on to this session and learning with me. We'll see you tomorrow, the same time.